Hi everyone, welcome back to Just with Dara. This is the sixth episode. I'm super excited for today's topic because it's something that I recently realized that is pretty important to me. And I also have my second guest on this show here with me today. And also, I wanted to say, just excuse me because I have a little bit of a cold right now. So if I'm coughing, I apologize, but I'm going to try my best not to. Anyways, my guest is my lovely cousin Files. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Vio. A little bit about me. I'm 17. I'm a college student. I am an incoming sophomore at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. I'm also an international student because I'm straight from Nigeria. So it's just nice to be on the show right now. So
Okay, thank you. I apologize so much. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? Today's topic is really just centered around marriage and if it's really just an idea or an actual commitment that two people are making to each other. So basically, I know for myself, I think that a lot of people, when they're getting married, I feel like they're thinking of it more as an idea or like, oh, well, I just have to do this because that's what society wants me to do, but not really because they're completely committed to that person because they want to spend the rest of their lives with that person. That's why I think divorce rates are so high, anyways. Because like, I think when you're getting married, you should be getting married to be with that person forever, not to be like, well, hopefully it works out, because that's not the type of commitment that it's supposed to be. So I know for myself, I have to be 100% sure if I do get married, like if I have to be 100% sure on who I'm marrying because I don't want to ever even think of like, oh, well, maybe I could just divorce them or like if it ends, it ends, like, because that's not the mentality that I want to go into a relationship or anything like that. Also, another thing is though, I also do think that it sounds weird, but like I also think that marriage is overrated in a way because I think people are like in a rush to get married sometimes, and there's really no reason for that. Because I mean, like when it comes, I know for me, I'm never going. I promised myself this. I think maybe a few months ago. I'm never going to actively search for a husband. If it happens, then it happens, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna sit there and like not do anything. But like those type of things where like people are like, oh, I have to keep doing this and that. People are keep introducing to me and this in person. But like it's going to happen in its own time. So you just need to kind of sit back and let let like th- wait like let this world do what it does. Let God do what He does. Yeah. Okay. So like you just need to kind of let the things happen. So that's why I know for myself, I think if I got to that point, I would kind of just feel like upset myself because that seems more like I'm like my whole life depends on me getting married. And I don't want it to be like that because my life really depends on me being successful and making connections with those around me who I love the most, and not necessarily that like, oh, I have to get married because that's what I feel like my family wants me to do, or that's what I feel like society wants me to do. Now, so for you, Fio, what are your thoughts on marriage?
well, I don't have anything against marriage. I think marriage is a very beautiful thing to happen. I think it's amazing to find that one person that you can live they can live with for the rest of your life and you can like have kids, blah blah blah. But my problem, and obviously I'm censoring everything I'm saying with everything that I have seen, and I wouldn't say experience, or everything I've seen and everything I kind of learned throughout the whole years, obviously living in Nigeria and like having Nigerian parents and seeing other marriages. I personally think, as you said before, like I wouldn't want to actively search for a husband. So it won't be like, oh yeah, today I'm just gonna go outside and start looking for a man that's gonna, make my heart trip, blah blah blah. I think I would let life be life, and like if someone comes in, that's good. But if someone doesn't, then I'm just going to wait for the right time. Because when I look at a lot of marriages in Nigeria, to me it just looks like, and I'm centering this around like the women, they just look like they're suffering. And I would rather not suffer in my marriage. And when I say suffering, it just looks like, okay, so the husband is like probably cheating on her, or like just not being like 100% loyal. He's not like treating her as his wife, and then they're just like, oh my gosh, no, I married him, I just have to stay with him. No, I think that is rubbish. Because I think if I'm not going to act like in marriages nothing bad happens. Like I know every marriage, like there are problems that you have to like face, and like problems you have to work towards like solving together. But there's some things that I just feel like should not be happening in the marriage. So for example, when it comes to, so let's say, let me give a scenario. I feel like I'm just jumbling. I'm just saying
No, it's okay.
like,
you're speaking fast.
So let's say like I'm 28, and like obviously in my Nigerian family, when I'm 28 and I'm not married, and maybe I don't even have like a long-term boyfriend, it's just me. I'm just running on vibes. I feel like my parents would be like, oh yeah, fire, like when our grandkids coming in, like when I go to walk down the aisle, blah 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 blah. And with that, I feel like that kind of puts pressure on me as a girl to start actively looking for a husband.
Exactly.
I don't think that's right. Like,
exactly.
but you know the craziest thing, people that have actively looked for husbands, maybe they've actually found the love of their life.
I mean,
That's
I guess, but like you don't want it to be like they're pressured to do it.
exactly.
Though.
Like, I don't want to be like, oh, if I don't find a husband tomorrow, then my parents are not going to be proud of me. Like, that's really rubbish. And you know where I'm trying to go is that I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you let life be life, and then someone comes into your life, then that marriage would be like really good. But you know, at the end of the day, men are kind of a different species. I feel like even with that, men can still mess up that marriage. That marriage can like probably run down the hill, and it might not be as great as we like. Obviously, we're thinking of it, but you know, I'm not going to act like no marriages are not perfect. But I feel like whether or not you wait and you let life be life, and you find someone, that marriage goes to like shambles. At least you know that you didn't rush into that marriage.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Like knowing that I didn't rush into a marriage and I took my time and I like loved him for who he was and everything. And let's say it's still like marriage still ran down, like that's fine. Like at least I won't blame myself for rushing into it. But I feel like if I'm like, okay, I'm looking for a husband, I find him,
you just
okay,
like marry the first person,
and everything messes up.
That.
I know who I'm going to blame it on. I know I'm going to be angry at myself. I know like the situation I put myself in. So yeah, I feel like I haven't really said anything that makes sense.
It's okay.
But I feel like marriage is like, I think marriage is very beautiful. Like, of course, we want to find a man to love us and take care of us. But like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like we have to like really take that thing into consideration when it says like you have to love yourself before you find someone that can love you, can go. But like, I feel like that's actually kind of important, especially as like girls. Like, I'm not looking for a husband to like pay my bills, for like take care, like pay my 100%. If I get kids, like all their school fees, like I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for someone to like share my affection with and like share a home with and like work together to like build a big family and stuff. So yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna say, you mentioned something about cheating, and with cheating is another thing, because I think so many people like they get married to somebody that they knew was a previous cheater, and they still get married to them, or like things like, and I think this happens a lot in like Nigerian culture, but like their parents like, okay, so like yeah, wait, no, that's not what I was gonna say, but like it's let's like say the man cheats on the wife and like they're engaged and they're like about to get married, because I think I saw this in the show. I can't remember which show it was or movie or something. And her mom was like, just stay with him, it's okay, he's very sorry. But the thing is, he's not really sorry, because he's only sorry because he got caught, because she caught him doing it. It's not like he came to her.
Let me ask you something. You know how you said that someone would like marry a guy that has cheated before, or like a guy, let me reverse it before we screaming in the car. But like, let's say, okay, a guy marries a girl that has like, it goes both ways. Yeah, that has that like previous like cheating history. Should we not say that they shouldn't get married? Like, honestly, would I marry someone that has like been a cheater? Like, if he's cheated on like someone, would I marry him?
It depends.
I think you have to leave it to God.
And then it also depends on how you really feel, like if they've actually changed. Because I feel like all those like women or men who are like telling to other people like, oh yeah, they've changed, I feel like sometimes they know for themselves like if that person has really changed, or if they're just saying that to try to like cover it up. But like when a parent is like convincing their child, oh, it's okay, just marry them, because and then they say things like that's what's going to happen in marriage. Like, are you actually like, are you okay? Like what?
I feel like parents need to understand, and I'm like emphasizing on Nigerian parents. I feel like they need to understand that they're not the ones getting married. Exactly. Like, it's not them that's going to live in the house with the guy or like with the girl. It's not them that's going to take care of the kids. Like, they need to really put themselves in our shoes. Yeah, because
they're just seeing it from the outside, and they're not actually going to be the ones in it. Yeah. Like, I would never want to stay in a marriage where I'm with somebody who's cheating on me constantly as if it's okay, and that I have to stay with them. Exactly. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And then another thing is, I was going to ask you, okay, so you know, like when people like they're married and then they found out that their spouse has cheated, and it's been like into their marriage, and they have like kids and stuff, and their kids think like their parents' marriage is like fine, and a lot of times they'll stay together for the kids, but once the kids like grow up, they'll divorce. So like, what do you think about that? Do you think that they should just go ahead and divorce beforehand, or actually wait till their kids grow up? So
I don't believe in divorce, But I feel like I've just had this mindset since I was younger, just because of like the Bible and everything. How the Bible says like it's a sin to like divorce your husband unless he has unless he has beat you
or cheated on you.
Is cheating part?
Yeah, of course. Yes,
I wasn't sure.
Wait,
no, it's not that in the Bible.
I was gonna say cheating is what I've seen in the Bible. I haven't seen like the abuse thing, but I know
I've seen abuse in the Bible.
I haven't seen abuse in
So
the Bible. I didn't even know that.
Okay,
I've seen cheating
know,
for sure.
But if that's the case, because when I was younger, I was like, no, if I was beat me. When I was younger, I was like, if my husband is to cheat on me, I'm not going to divorce him because also the Bible says that, but I will leave him. Like I won't, and it'll be so sad because I won't be able to marry someone else. I won't be able to find someone else because I'll still be legally married to him. So I'll just be suffering. That's why.
Yeah, no, but the Bible says you
okay,
can't.
So that's okay. No, I know, 100%. I will divorce him, but like we need to like have an agreement that we will make sure that we still like. Obviously, it's never going to be the same with the kids, but we need to make sure that we are still like on talking terms, like we can still help the kids out. Like
still
they
being
know,
both active in the kids' lives.
So they know that if they don't want to come to me, they can go to him. Like it has to be like that. And if he doesn't want it that way, I can't force him. But I will make sure that like at least I kind of take the two roles in the roles, like the two mother and father. If he doesn't want to agree, but obviously I won't want my kids because I know what like divorce does. I know what it does to some kids. Like I won't want that because I never went through that. So I won't want my kids to go through that also. But then if life happens, there's just so much you can do. But like
yeah, so I know before I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll definitely just stay with them maybe until like my kids grow up or like we'll try to like go through therapy or something like that. And those things are all easy to say, but like the truth is, and because like some people call like their parents like selfish if they decided to just divorce when the kids are still there.
Because they obviously would not understand. Like I understand why they will say that we're selfish, but obviously they don't understand what's going on.
Because the truth is, you can't really. I think that it would actually be so ironic, but like, it would actually be selfish if the parents did stay in that relationship because they know that they're not on good terms. If they're arguing with each other, even if they try to hide it where the kids don't notice, your kids are always, I can promise you, your kids are always going to notice if you're fighting. Like you can try to do it in the shadows when they're not there, and like that's good on you for not trying to fight in front of your kids, but they're still going to know. And so I think that when I know, like for me, well, my parents are always just still together, but like when they argue and stuff, like I hate it so much, and I don't want, like, if I'm ever in that situation where like my husband and I are just like really not on good terms, and like the marriage is like either failing because like he's unfaithful. And also wanted to say though, I would only like divorce if they cheated or if they're like physically abusive. But if it's just like we're just like having complications, I feel like you can always work through that because like I mean you married them in the first place because you love them, so I feel like you can work through that. But anyways, what I was saying though, wait, what was I saying?
About if they argue.
Oh right, like, okay, sorry. So like if they're like constantly arguing in front of the kids and your kids have to go through that, is that really better than you just taking separate turns and like separating so that you're and co-parenting? That's a really important thing though, because also if you were to be in that situation where you divorced and like you had kids, you need to make sure that you put your kids above anything else and make sure that your kids are still able to thrive with their parents being separated, because like the thing is at that point they would have to be in separate houses, or maybe who knows, maybe they can work to where they're in the same house, who knows, but like you would have to make sure that your children are still thriving into where you have like a healthy co-parenting relationship, so that it doesn't seem like one parent is putting the kids against the other parent or something like that.
Yeah, that's a bit toxic. But with arguing, I think arguing is like part of every marriage. Like I think that was very 100%. That was very inevitable. Like my parents, I remember when I was younger, my parents they were in their room and they were arguing, and I was like, obviously I've grown up now and I know that obviously like you can't escape that. It just, what matters is like how they work through it and how they solve it, and like that's why they like marry a friend. But the thing is, men lie. So it's like like you can be dating a guy, and I'm sure that this is one way. I'm a girl, so the only way I can like express my feelings is through the opposite. But like, you could be dating a guy for like 10 years, and you think you know him, and then you live under the same roof with him, and everything scatters. Yeah. So it's like, what happens? That's why you just have to leave it to God. There's just so much you can do as a human. Like, but yeah, craziest thing when we grow up, like if we get husbands, like I'm sorry. They're gonna listen to this, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I don't think marriage should be forced. I think I think marriage is like part of life. Like it's obviously it's part of like the cycle of life. So if it comes, it comes. Like if it comes early, it comes early. If it comes late, it comes late. Love happens when it happens. So
Mhm.
just have to roll with it. Yeah.
Okay, so also I was gonna say, I know I told you this like I think yesterday or a few days ago or something, but to go back to like the cheating thing, I wanted to make clear like so for me, if my husband was to like
Significant other.
my significant other was to cheat on me. Now if we're just dating, I think I would just break up with them. Depending on how long we were together. And then if we were like married, I would like okay, so if they were to come to me without any outside like pressure or force to come to me and actually like apologize because like they feel sorry, I would definitely like try to work through it with them because that shows like that they were actually sorry. But then if it's like I caught them, that's like that's
No,
like a question there. Cause
I kind of disagree. Like if he cheats on me and he comes to tell me that's his business. Honestly.
no, but like he's sorry.
That has nothing to do with me because I know I would never carry my two legs and cheat on my husband. I would never. So as he's just saying that story, he's not be packing his bags and leaving the house.
Yeah, but like he's obviously sorry and
That's
he felt
really
bad,
business.
so he wanted to come and tell you like I feel bad. I did this.
That's his
Let me
business.
apologize. Let's work through
How
this.
old is he? He's in a whole marriage. We have to walk down the aisle. We have to pay so much money for that wedding dress and that suit and all the guests, and he cheats. As he's just saying, he's always packing his bags. He's not sleeping there.
Okay.
Not again.
Okay.
Because think of it, I've said this to my friends. I've said this to my friends. The only time I would cheat is if I am possessed. I'm being so honest. And I feel like I'm saying it. The more I say it, the more I'm like telling myself like I would never, I have to be possessed before I cheat. Like I must be possessed.
Yeah, definitely same. Because
you're
you're doing that to somebody else, and it's gonna hurt them.
Like,
you're not thinking like I think when people cheat, they're not thinking about the effect that it has on the person that you're cheating on.
Like if you, I feel like you would not cheat. Okay, and people might argue with me, and I feel like there's an argument to this, but I don't want to think of this as like I think I'm right. I feel like you would not cheat on someone that you love. Like if you really love someone and you really care about their well-being and how they feel, I don't think you would want to purposely hurt them.
What if the man was possessed?
Okay, that's
when
different.
He's coming to possessed, and he's like the devil got me. Like
no, but I feel like if he was possessed, we'd like take him to church and we'd like find a way. But all that jabagantis of like, oh yeah, I was drunk. Like shut up. Like I know someone.
The thing is, when you're drunk, you're still pretty conscious. I know, like you're not completely aware of what you're doing. But I feel like, are you really that unaware that you would
let's just say like you're like drunk and you're not aware. Who made you drunk? That's your question.
Why were you even drinking to that extent?
Because I know that if I ever get into drinking and if I ever want to get drunk or like have fun, I know what I'm doing before I do it. Like I'm like, okay, today I'm going to get drunk. I know what happens when I'm not 2 years old. Like I know what will happen if I get drunk. So it's like, who made you drunk? Who made you high? Because I know they didn't feed it to you, and if they fed it to you, that means you have low self-esteem. And
okay,
that's
what if they were drugged?
If you were drunk, that's because it makes sense. Like if you're drunk,
like that's something that could happen.
Yeah, if obviously if they were drunk, like I would just be like, okay, leave my house. Yeah. We'll still have to talk because you don't mean you have been thinking of it.
They were drunk. Okay.
No, that means you have been thinking of it. So you only do something that you have been thinking of when you are drunk. So I'll not sit down with you. Like, what have you been thinking of?
Oh, wait, that's actually true, though. Honestly, that's actually true.
I feel like you...
the things you do when you're drunk are the things that you wanted to do
exactly.
when you're sober.
So, what is going on? That's what... After that, I'll tell you next thing. When we get that bridge, go for views. If someone gets that bridge, you'll cross it for like...
Well, let's just hope now that neither of our spouses ever cheat on us.
No, but God forbid. I actually really reject it. Like, that's one thing I can't take. I can't take it. I just can't. I can't imagine someone doing that to me. And I'm in a marriage. Even if you're my boy, like, leave marriage aside. Even if you're my boyfriend and like we've been dating for like 5 months or like 3 months.
If it's just 5 months, I'm gonna break up with you.
Yeah, obviously,
I'm gonna break up with you.
You shouldn't do that. Like, you just should not cheat. I don't think there should be like a part in the Bible that they should teach people that they should not be cheating because it's just I just don't know how you. I could never do it. I could never. It's just no. I don't know.
And then also, I just thought about this now. Because I know some people, like, when they go to, like, apologize to their significant other about, like, cheating, they'll say things like, oh, it was just physical. But like
That's
cheating is
obvious.
still cheating. Like
See,
I don't care
you thought
whether
that-
you were doing this
that is
exactly.
cheating.
And also, okay, so both are bad, but like
Anything
in a
you
way, emotional cheating is kind of worse though. Like if they were just talking, because that means like they had an emotional.
Anything you can't
connection
do with another woman in front of me is cheating.
Wait.
Yes. But nothing of it, because you
Wait.
can't be texting another woman in front of me. Like, what are you texting about?
But what if they're just friends?
Okay, that means you can do it in front of me. Honestly speaking, that means you can do it in front of me.
I guess that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you
but
can't do it in front of
If you can't do it in front of me, then you are cheating.
Okay.
Like, don't be using that English on me. Like, oh, it's not really cheating. Like, shut up, because it's cheating. Like,
Also,
no.
yeah. For all of you listening to this, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you were the one who was cheating, don't make excuses for your cheating.
Yeah,
because
that's
that would actually like
But
piss
let's
me
think
off for
of it
sure.
now. God forbid. Like, what would we advise people that have like cheat? Like, is cheated the word? I feel like it's like
Cheated, yes.
It's a word. Yes. Okay.
It's the word.
What advice do we have for people that have cheated like in the past? Like, what can we really tell them? Because all sins can be forgiven by God, not by us. By God, yes, it can be forgiven, but we're just man. Like, there's just what you can do. Like,
Okay.
what would I really say to someone that has cheated before? I would say, never do it again. One. But like, okay, so let me give a scenario. Do you know like these YouTubers, Dara and Ken? You know
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know he cheated on her. Like, I would say,
didn't
yeah.
know that, but-
Well, he did. But then when I found out, I was really, really sad. Like, I didn't want to believe, because I've been watching them since like I was in year 8 or year 7, like 6 years ago. And then he cheated on her, and I was like, listen, just get back together. I really felt that.
So,
like, I felt that way, because I know, like, I've been watching them since I was younger. Like, I know what they've been through, so it's like just one hiccup. But like,
one hiccup. But then you said
exactly.
You said that
I was
you would.
just contradicting myself. I
Yeah.
was like, I really don't know. I feel like
Pretty ironic.
I feel like we will never really know
Until we're in that situation.
And God, we will never really.
Amen.
So, yeah, you never be thinking of that. But like, I feel like obviously now that I was saying I'll never get back with him, we never really know, because love is. I actually believe in love. I think love can really conquer all. So who knows what could happen? But like, just don't do it. Like, I don't even want to be in that situation. I'll be thinking, what can love do? What can love? Like, I just no, like, just don't do it.
But like I said before, it really depends on the person, because I feel like you, since you're in that relationship with that person, you know whether or not they're really truly sorry, and you know whether or not like they want to work on the relationship. So we're not trying to like tell any of you guys anything like, oh, if your man cheats, don't like go back with him. It's
I feel
up
like
to
if
you.
your man cheats,
but
like, you know who he is, and he looks like he's sorry, you have to make him work for it.
Well, of course, yeah. You can't just take him back
Yes.
immediately. No.
I will leave. It depends on who owns the building. If it's me, yeah, I will leave for like maybe like 2 months.
3 months. Then he'll cheat again during that 3 months.
That's wait, that's his business.
Wait, actually, I was gonna say, if he does that, that's actually sad.
In that 3 months, like, well, you know, men, like, I was gonna say, like, in the 3 months, like, if he works, like, if he always calls, like, works towards, like, talking to you and breaking the barrier.
Yeah, that means he actually like wants to get back.
Yeah, but you know,
with
men lie. Maybe the second one you take him back, everything has scattered again. Men really, really lie. I was like, you have to leave it to God. All this talking about doing is just a lot of rubbish. I feel like all we have to do is just thank and like just pray to God that He doesn't put us in this situation. And if He does, obviously there's a reason why in that situation. But like,
exactly.
It's a big ghetto, so I don't really know. But like,
okay,
yeah. So yeah,
okay. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to us ramble on and on, because I know like part of it may not be clear because we were just kind of laughing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed meeting my cousin's voice.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next week I'll be back with another episode. I'll have another guest. Yay.
Yeah.
Call me. Okay. Anyways, again, thank you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So, bye.
Yeah, bye. Don't go.
Wait.